Okay, so Game 2 of the NBA Finals just ended last night, and we see that the Boston Celtics are up 2-0. The game that was last night was closer to the game that was Game 1 on Thursday. So, there's a couple things I'm going to talk about now that there's a 2-day wait till Game 3, and what can happen and what changes can happen for the Dallas Mavericks to even win a game or maybe even come back.
And I got to worry about trade talk. I'm the MVP. I'm the MVP of this league. The best basketball players in the world. I was honored with the MVP. The MVP, the best basketball player in the world. And when I lose, this is what I got to go through.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Okay.
Fellas, you work all year long for it, man. Shaq the man, most dominant player in the world. Championship, it's ours. Love it, it's beautiful. Mwah, 2G, baby, you love it. We out.
It's showtime, folks.
So, I'm going to talk about both sides and why one side is losing, one side is winning. So first, let's start with the winners right now, the Boston Celtics. Now, the Boston Celtics have been playing a very good basketball game. They're playing a very good defensive game, and they know how to run their offense. In Game 1, Kristaps came off the bench off the injury and really propelled this team to get momentum and win the game. He had 20 points. He had 20 points off the bench and 18 in the first half. And his defensive prowess and how he was able to block shots and be able to disrupt alley-oops is what really set the tone for the Boston Celtics. Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 had nothing that can stop Kristaps. Kristaps was giving everything he wanted. On a play against Derek Lively, Derek Lively played too much up top, and Kristaps been paid for it with a dunk. Running down the court, Daniel Gafford thought that he was going to go to the paint, but Kristaps made a pay with a long three-pointer. Kristaps, like I've said before, like I thought going into this series, he would be the difference maker for this series. And him actually playing good and him coming off the bench and not being hindered by his injury is actually helping this team win. But there's a big elephant in the room that people are addressing, especially on Twitter. Jayson Tatum. Now in Game 1, Jayson Tatum had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists on 37% from the field. In Game 2, he had 18 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists on 27% from the field. Now, I'm going to say two things about Tatum. One, Jayson Tatum is actually doing something other than scoring. He's playing elite good defense. Every good time he's on a defender like Luka, like Kyrie, he's able to disrupt passing lanes, and he's actually doing something such as being out there running back and forth. He's also being a good playmaker. Even though some of the assists he gets by just him getting the ball at the top of the key and passing it to a three-pointer or doing an easy pass, he still be able to play make and play defense even though he can't score. But one thing that I'm going to criticize Tatum for that I hope he actually plays better going into this couple games is he needs to score. Because the Boston Celtics have such a good team where they don't need him to score to be able to win, which is insane. But if we're going to put Tatum in these conversations that people are desperate to put him a part of, he's going to need to score more. And I believe that during these next couple games, he's going to show how he's going to play better. And I hope he does, because the Dallas Mavericks, I'm going to talk about what they can do next. If they do these certain things, they can be able to beat this Boston team. They was close to beating them last night, but some things here to be able to beat them. So honestly, the Boston Celtics had the lead in this series because of two things. They're able to defend Luka. Even though Luka is still putting up points, they're able to defend him and be able to allow him to ISO, because they're letting Luka ISO and letting Luka be Luka in the first half, because when it comes to the fourth quarter, he's not going to play as well. And them allowing him to do that is actually helping them win. Luka Dončić in this series, in Game 1, he had 30 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals on 46% from the field. In Game 2, he had 32 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists on 57.1% from the field. Now, Luka Dončić is actively playing amazing this series. He really is. In Game 1, it was really hard for him to get assists because of how the offense was being ran. But in Game 2, Jayson Tatum was able to run a different offense, well, the same offense, but be able to attack it better. And it helped Luka be able to get more assists and be able to play like he wants to play. So Luka Dončić is actually playing like the best player in the series, which everybody knew going to the series he would be the best player, and he is. But the thing that the Dallas Mavericks need is they need their second best player. They need Kyrie Irving to play better. They need him to play better because Kyrie Irving is actively getting turnovers and actively not playing well. In Game 1, Kyrie Irving had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 31% from the field and 3 turnovers. In Game 2, he had 16 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists on 38% from the field and 2 turnovers. Now, those turnovers might not seem a lot, but when you're watching the game, those turnovers be some of the most crucial turnovers. Kyrie Irving doing the most simple jump move, doing the most simple spin move, and he gets a turnover by Jaylen Brown. He gets a turnover by Jayson Tatum. So, what's really going to separate Dallas Mavericks, and everybody knew going to this series, is that Kyrie Irving and Luka have to play amazing. Their offense is relied on them, not heavily as it was before, but their offense is solely relied on Kyrie Irving and Luka Dončić. And when Luka Dončić is the one going out there every night and playing amazing, Kyrie Irving had to step up and allow Luka to get some rest. Because what's really happening is, in these fourth quarters, the Mavericks are making comebacks in the third quarter and going into the fourth. But Luka is getting tired. He's getting worn out for being able to play all the minutes, playing good defense and also playmaking and also shooting and creating for other players. So Kyrie Irving is supposed to be that secondary ball handler to take the weight off of Luka, so when Luka gets some rest, he's able to get some rest off the floor or on the floor. But Kyrie Irving is not playing that well. And when your secondary star is not playing that well and you're going against a team that doesn't need their primary star to score, you need that actively. So for the Dallas Mavericks going into Game 3 and 4, for them to be able to actually win a game and tie this series, Kyrie Irving has to play better. That's one. And two, they cannot allow all these role players to be able to score. They're relying so much of their attention on Jayson Tatum, so much on Jaylen Brown, that we're collapsing their paint, leaving Jrue Holiday open to be able to have an outstanding performance, leaving Derek White open to still have good performances going into these series. We cannot allow that when a player is not playing that good, when Jayson Tatum is not be able to play that good, and he's not be able to score that well, I would allow him to be able to break down his defender and go to the paint and not collapse on it, because you're allowing a 3-point shooter team to shoot what they excel at, which is 3-point shots. So even though that Jayson Tatum is not hot, and we don't want him getting hot because you actually play better, we don't want the 3-point shooters to be able to score as well. So if Tatum can't score and he's not able to drive in the paint and score on the paint, I'm not going to double him. I'm not going to collapse in the paint. Let my person who's guarding him be able to switch out to the paint. Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively needs to go out to the paint side, or whoever is the wing defender. You can hedge, you can help, but don't help too much, as they can still shoot. That's their problem. They're allowing this team to shoot 3-point shots, and they're having costly turnovers. The Celtics are playing good defense. Granted, they are. But some of the turnovers that the Mavericks are causing are just costly. Some turnovers that the Mavericks are causing are just easy ones that they can stop. So the Mavericks need to play better offense. It needs to play better offense, and Kyrie Irving needs to show up for them to tie this series and eventually win this series.
It's the 126.
Swear I'm tired of all these hoes sneaking, trying to set me up. If you play around with the game, we gon' pull up, shoot it up. No route, I swear I gotta blow up all that route, shit ain't no choice. I here thuggin' with the boys, if 556 and make some noise. Green bitch, she said my ARP, it look just like a toy. Got that blick on side my hip, you run up on me, I'm gon' blow it. Feel like Franklin, got it snowing. When I run down, you will not know it. Got some cars and I won't show them, but I promise I'm gon' blow them. Standing on so much business, I done up, broke my back. Nigga done stuck deep in the pussy, pulled out the big tracks. Yeah, I took that nigga shit and he won't get it back, and that's a fact.